All right, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention once again here, joining us in the media center at Chicagoland Speedway, tonight's winning crew chief and car owner is crew chief Dave Rogers and coach Joe Gibbs, again part of the number 11 FedEx Ground Toyota crew. Dave, first for you, how does coming out, getting that first win in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup and automatically advancing to that Contender 12 round, how does that free up or change your strategy at all over the next two races?
Well, it doesn't really change our strategy. We're going to try to carry as much momentum through the chase as possible, but it definitely opens up some doors. You know, anything can happen in these races. We saw the 4-car get tore up today. He's fast. So we have a mulligan. We can, if we have a problem next 2 weeks, it doesn't matter. But we're still going to go to Loudon and Dover and try to lead laps and contend for the win. So we just have a little less pressure on us than the other guys have.
And Coach, for you, obviously the 11 ends up in victory lane, but all 4 of your cars finished within the top 10 today. Just talk a little bit about the strength of your JGR program as a whole.
Well, I think for us, I just really appreciate everybody we got back home. Everybody's heard me say that, but we got a lot of people at the race shop there that I wish they were here to celebrate in Winner's Circle with us. They're not. But the whole team back there, everybody that works on our cars, front office, JD, everybody back there, I wish they could be here with us because they deserve to be here to celebrate. I thought today was a total team effort. We had everything go against us, really. The 11 car, we had to start in the back because of our qualifying speed. We turned around and spun the car back there. We go down a lap, fought hard all day to get that back. And so it was just one thing after another. I appreciate Dave keeping everybody together. Denny kept a cool head. We just kept fighting. Our pit crew, everybody, and it was a total team effort in the end, really. And proud of the FedEx gang and really appreciate the fact that I could be a part of this.
And Dave, from your perspective of some of what Coach just talked about, overcoming some of those early struggles that, starting so far back and then the early spin, what was that like from your perspective in trying to manage that early turmoil?
Yeah, Coach nailed it. There's so many people back at Joe Gibbs Racing that are working so hard to build fast race cars, and like you said, all four Gibbs cars were in the top 10, so that's a testament to the speed. But the road crew, the pit crew, the driver, engineers, everyone just stayed really composed, and that's what I'm most proud of today is, we did have a lot of adversity. And in the chase, you're going to have adversity. It's going to strike. So we've been talking about it and trying to mentally prepare for it. And today, I thought the entire team did a great job of just keeping focused, and it paid off in the end. So really proud of the guys that travel, and really thankful for everyone back at the shop, including our partners in Costa Mesa who built the power plant, TRD. Great steam under the hood. Just proud to have a race car this fast and could allow us to overcome adversity.
All right, we'll open it up to questions. We'll get you a wireless mic. Once you raise your hand, please state your name and affiliation. We'll start right here in the front with Jordan.
Jordan Bianchi, SBNation.com. Dave, when Denny spun, you said to him on the radio, we've got a rocket ship, we're going to come back up through the field. At that point, were you thinking we're just going to try to salvage a top 15, top 10 finish, or were you thinking, hey, we still have a shot to win this thing?
No, call me crazy, but I thought we had a shot to win. We had a really good car in practice, and I guess we always set our goals on trying to lead laps and win races. And I think the minute you tell yourself you can't win, or you're just trying to get a top 10, then that's probably all you're going to get. So the way Denny was moving up through traffic, I knew last year that Brad won the race, and he started in the mid-20s. I knew the 22 finished really well, and he started in the 20s. Denny finished 6th, I believe, and started 27th. So I knew that in years, last year, people came from deep in the field and contended for the win. So I knew it was possible. And Denny was, we spun because he was going. He had a fast race car, and he was trying to make something happen and got in the back of a slower car. So I knew we had speed, and I have a lot of faith in that driver. He can do some crazy things.
All right, we'll go to the back left with Stan.
Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. Dave, rank this race, if you will. There's 10 races in the chase, and this is the first one. Is this one of the more difficult events that you all are going to attend in these final 10, or where does it rank?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I don't want to say this because we won it, and I don't want to take any any glory away from the team, but the way the chase is laid out, 12 cars are going to advance to the next round, and only 3 of them are going to advance on wins. The other 9 are going to come from points. So realistically, this is one of the easier brackets, and as it should be. The championship should be the toughest bracket. Homestead is going to be by far the hardest race.
All right, anyone else in the room with a question for Coach or Dave? Coach, Dave, thank you both so much for joining us here.
Let me say, Toyota, appreciate it, Dave. All you guys, they worked extremely hard, and I think last year we went through some tough times, and this year our guys kept fighting. So thank y'all. Appreciate our partners. Thank y'all.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. All right, if I could have everyone's attention once again. Joining us now in the media center, Chicagoland Speedway, the race winner of the myafibrisc.com 400, Denny Hamlin, driver of the number 11 FedEx Ground Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. Denny, you come here this weekend. Friday's qualifying session gets rained out. You have to start this race near the back and then the early spin. How good does it feel to come out on the other side of all that in victory lane here today, knowing that you're secured a spot in the next round of the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup?
Well, it feels great, obviously. I mean, this is a great day for us. We obviously came back from adversity and did a lot of great things throughout the day, with the exception of lap 2. And I tell you, it's just amazing that we were able to come back the way we were and do the things that we were able to do. So I knew we had a really fast car, but I didn't think starting in the second row with old tires we were going to have a chance like we were. But the opportunity came in turn 1 to make a move, and we capitalized and our car took off.
All right, we'll go right ahead, open it up to questions for Denny. If you have one, please raise your hand. We'll get you a mic, state your name and affiliation. We'll start right here in the front with Jordan.
Jordan Bianchi, SBNation.com. You look at this race, and Chicago became the chase opener. The guys who've historically won this race have done very well in the championship and have gone on, in a couple instances, to win the championship. That has to give you some confidence.
Yeah. Whose bracket did I break today? Raise your hand. Come on. If you had us going out in the first round. Anybody? Don't let me find that out. I'll call you out. But it is. I mean, I've been telling people. I mean, look at our finishes going into the chase. I mean, we've been strong. This is everyone else gets the headlines, but we have been chipping away at some really good finishes here lately, and doing a lot of great things. And our Toyotas have been really fast, and Joe Gibbs Racing has given us some really good cars here lately. So this is no exception, and obviously we just were very fortunate with the late race restart, and we were able to capitalize on it. I honestly didn't like our chances when I saw that 2 cars had stayed out versus 1, but we made the best of the situation. So I think we can make a run. I mean, I've told everyone that these chase tracks set up better for nobody than it does for me as the chase goes on. So I think the next round is the most challenging for us personally. You just get us to that final 8 round, and I'm pretty confident we'll be at Homestead with a chance.
All right, we'll stay on the front left with Tom.
Hey, Denny, congratulations. Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. Have you ever had a race that started so badly that ended so well?
Close. I mean, my very first win, I blew a tire, spun out. We didn't go a lap down, or nearly 2, for that matter. I thought we were still going to be fine, and so I chose not to go fast, and I knew we were making a decision to go a lap down by making sure we preserved the car when I spun out. But I thought we'd have a caution in 10, 15 laps. I didn't imagine it going another 100 and putting so many cars 1 lap down. So that was a challenge for us, but we stayed really, really calm. So I was I don't know what it was, but just felt calm all day, even though we were in a really bad position up until 90 to go. So I think it's just that calmness allows you to make better decisions, and we made great decisions at the end of the day.
All right, back left to Stan, and then we'll stick right here in the left middle.
Okay, Denny, Stan Creekmore with RPMtonight.com. Did you come into this race extremely confident, and was there anything during practice or anything that just made you go to sleep last night and say, you know what, I can see and feel the checker flag?
I knew we had a top 5 car in practice. Not a lot of people saw that, but I knew we did. And we made some good adjustments. But my car was actually, we went through, when we blew a tire, whatever happened with my brakes, it really messed up my brakes, and I think I hurt the splitter as well when I crossed over the apron to get back on the racetrack right there on TV. So my car actually wasn't quite as good after we spun as it was before, but I mean, my car was really fast, and I just knew with the shot we had a chance, and just got a great restart. That's all we had.
All right, we'll stay in that same area with Bob, and then we'll come over to Tony.
Bob Pockers, ESPN. When you spin on lap 2, what are you hoping for out of the rest of the day? What would you have considered a good finish today?
I thought my number was 7 in my head. If we could get back to 7th, it was an amazing comeback day for us. So you know, once we got back to the lead lap, though, I thought, okay, well, I don't know if we could battle for the win because those guys were out there for most of the day, but we never had track position. We were just 1 lap down for most of the race, and so I was thinking, you know, 7th place, top 10 finish would be a good comeback for this kind of day. So obviously I was very surprised to see us win it.
Tony Baranek with the Daily Southtown newspaper. Can you just take us through that maybe not situation on that last yellow when you were going to go in and then didn't?
Well, with this pit road, we were pitted so far down pit road that Dave couldn't see whether I needed to pit or not. He said, you make the decision, but I think track position will be king. My spotter said come, but I was already kind of committed to not come, and he said it so fast I couldn't process it quite fast enough, and so I just thought that I thought we were screwed, actually. Starting on the second row with old tires, especially new tires right on the outside of you, I thought the only chance we have is to get 3 wide entering turn 1 and get some clean air. So it worked out that way, and once we got that clean air, I mean, those were the fastest laps I'd ran all day. So, pretty proud of our Toyota at that point.
All right, we'll come over here to the front right.
Denny, congrats. I'm happy for you. Aaron Bearden, front stretch. I mean, Joe Gibbs Racing has been on a tear these last few months, and you'd seen Kyle go through the fairs where he won some. Kent has been fast, and then Carl got Darlington, and you'd been close, but just hadn't quite been able. You'd been 3rd, 6th, stuff like that. So how important was it to you to, I guess, break out and finally get yourself in that list with them as a winner, especially at such a pivotal race?
It's big. I mean, we find ourselves, no matter what year we've had, we find ourselves at an advantage over everyone right now. So we're very proud of that. But we entered this chase with as much momentum as we've ever had. Maybe not with race wins, but certainly top 5 finishes. So we've been battling for race wins here in the last 2 months. Even though my teammates have been winning, we've been like the 2nd best car. And there's 4 of us. So it's we've been right there. Just haven't had things work out for us. We had a similar restart like this at the end of Darlington. Unfortunately, it was a teammate, so I had to treat it slightly different. But I can tell you that things worked out for us, and obviously, this is the momentum we need to continue on.
All right, back down here in the front to Jordan.
Jordan Bianchi, SBNation.com. Thursday, Harvick talked about he was going to pound the JGR cars. Today he had his issues. You're in victory lane. Your response to that?
I really don't have a response. I mean, I'm not going to get in a verbal thing. I mean, we're 1 race in, and it didn't work out well for him today.
We'll stay there in the front left.
Zach Worrell, Butler University. There was the one instance where at the restart that NASCAR had to review it. Did you what are your thoughts on the new system for restarts?
Well, I'm glad that, we're going to try to make this as fair as possible. I mean, ultimately, until we open up the box to a larger distance, it's going to be, there's just going to be games. Now, I do think, with track position being so important in this particular aero package, track position means everything, so everyone's fighting harder on restarts. I think in the future, if we head down that low downforce path, I don't think restarts will be quite as important. So you'll be able to motor your way through the field in a few laps. So I'm looking forward to it, but I'm glad to see NASCAR stepping up and saying, okay, the games have gone far enough, and we've asked you not to put us in it, but we're in it now, and we're going to do the best we can. So I didn't see which restart they were exactly talking about. I think I've seen it replay over and over, but it's tough when the second place guy is allowed to beat the first one to the line. These things are going to happen.
All right, we'll come back here in the front to Nate.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Denny, you're through now the second round. Last year, the first round was a lot tougher for you to get through. And I know that you feel really good about the third round, you feel really good about Homestead, but second round, I would think, is maybe not as secure. Does this give you an opportunity now where you guys can just focus on Kansas, Charlotte, Talladega, and feel good about maybe getting through there to get to the solid rounds?
Yeah, no doubt. And maybe it changes the way we plan our race cars. I mean, Dover, like a Dover car is very similar to like a Charlotte car, so maybe we take that, what we thought was going to be an elimination car, and maybe apply it now to the next racetrack. So it could change things for sure. It will make us focus a little bit more on that next round. Now we got 2 weeks to do that, so definitely will be an advantage for us to have a couple weeks to just focus on those particular racetracks.
And we'll stay right in that same spot with Brent.
Brant James, USA Today Sports. Kevin has 2 more races to do something dramatic, as he proved he could do last year in advance. But if the defending series champion goes out, a guy who's been consistent a lot this year, how much does that just improve the prospects for you and everybody else who's left moving on?
How does it do what?
How does it improve the chances for you and everyone else, to win a title if he's out after the first round?
I mean, I consider everyone equal. When we reset this playoffs, and obviously, you say that, and you can shrug and say, well, the 4 is not equal. He's not just one of any competitors, but I mean, you never know who can go on runs. You never know who can pick up the speed. We've seen it a million times. When the playoffs come around, somebody picks their game up from running 15th every week to running top 5 every week. So I think that it would certainly help our chances for sure. But we're confident that we could beat anybody heads up at Homestead if we have a chance.
Any final questions for Denny? One more over here on the front left, Kenny.
Kenny Bruce, NASCAR.com. Denny, we saw you spin out, come back and win the race. Carl got a speeding penalty, went a lap down. We had the Jimmy Harvick thing, both on the track and then out in the motor coach lot afterwards. Are we going to continue to see this kind of stuff going through the chase? I mean, normally we think, it's that third race each time where everything's going to really blow up. But are we going to see it practically every week?
Anytime you break your season down into a 3-race season, every point matters and every position matters. So, I mean, we saw more fights in the chase last year than what we've seen in the last 10 years because people feel like they're wronged by somebody, and their entire season is possibly ruined because of somebody else making a mistake or what have you. But it's just racing. I mean, we mess each other up every single week, but those who are battling for a championship take it a little bit more seriously now than what they did during the summer months. So my guess is this is not the first. It's definitely not going to be the last confrontation you're going to see. And most likely it's those cutoff races that really set the tone.
All right, Denny, thank you so much. Yep, one more back there.
in talking to your crew chief, he seems very excited about being in New Hampshire next week. What does this win do for you personally going to New Hampshire next week?
Well, I know one thing for sure. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to text Michael Jordan. He texted me on Wednesday. He said he was in Monte Carlo, and I popped in his head like I always do, which I thought was a little odd. And he says, I know that you're about to head into the playoffs, and I just want you to know I've never admitted to anybody that anyone is better at me than anything my whole life. But if you win this race this weekend, I will admit that you're a better driver than I am. And I thought, wow, that'd be awesome. And I just thought of that just now. So the first thing I'm going to do is text him and say, admit it, that I am better than you, and I want everyone to know.
All right. On that note, Denny, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on a huge
I didn't answer your question,
win.
did I? No, you didn't. Okay, good.
That's a great answer nonetheless. Congrats again on a big win to open the chase.
No.